Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Mr. Ethan here with a new video. I want to thank you guys for the love I've been getting. It's been crazy. So much love, so much likes, so much comments, a lot of subscriptions. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's get straight into the video, but before that, make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe. Now, before the video, let me take you on a little trip to the past, a little history lesson. Now, it wasn't until 1975 that women could open a bank account in their name because women were seen as high-risk investments by banks. It was just in 2015 that Saudi Arabia passed the bill that would enable women to vote in elections. Not only that, up until the 24th of June 2018, women could not attain a driver's license in Saudi Arabia. Now that's crazy. And I don't know what else to call that apart from gender inequality. But in a twist of fate, gender inequality is the seed that sprout up the topic I'm about to talk about today, which is feminism. Now, a lot of people have misconceptions about what feminism is. A lot of people have their own definitions. A lot of people got definitions on what feminism is from other people hearsay. So now I'm going to break it down. I'm going to put it in perspective, everything you need to know, and to really understand the truth behind feminism. Now, what is feminism? Feminism can simply be put as, in a layman's term, advocating for equal rights among all sexes and genders. Or advocating for equal rights among all sexes and genders, and that is something that is very important, and you get to know very soon. Now, a lot of people think that feminism is in fact domination, especially the male counterparts. Now, let me go into that a little bit. Most people think that feminism is trying to tip the scale against the male side, making the females dominate the male, which is exactly not what it is. Feminism, as we just talked about, is making the playing field equal for all genders. So in the socio economical setting, in politics, in the society, male and female individuals can have equal rights and equal access to certain services and programs and all whatnot. Now, personally, I believe in feminism. And why do I believe in feminism? I believe in feminism because I feel that everyone should have a chance and everyone should have the ability and the freedom to do and become whatever they want in life. And people, if you look at it properly, not letting someone be able to achieve certain goals just due to their gender, it's very backward, and personally I think it's not the right thing to do, because you can easily compare that to racism. Now, racism is where people of color are segregated, not allowed to enjoy certain privileges as other people. Now, there is a very specific speech given by a very popular man. Most of you might know him, or most of you will know him. His name is Martin Luther King.
I have a dream.
I have a dream similar to Martin's.
My 4 little children
And that is this.
will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls.
So I have a dream too. My dream is that one day there will be equality among genders. One day that nobody will be judged by whether they are male or female in the socio-political space. Freedom to do whatever one can do, because let's face it, we are all free entities and free beings in this world that we live in, and I do not think that people should get discriminated upon due to their gender. Now, there's a very big myth or misconception that it is only the females who are affected by gender inequality, and although this is true to an extent, it's not entirely true. Why most people feel that it is only the females who are affected is because they are the ones who are mostly affected. But there are also ways in which the males can be affected by gender inequality. For example, there are certain jobs that males cannot get into due to the level of emotional instability, and I'll get into that later, maybe in another video, because that is very, very complex and it will take a long time to explain. Now, there are certain reasons that people give why that feminism or gender equality cannot stand. So in essence, a lot of people think that no matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter what we imbibe, gender equality cannot come to stay. And I have just 3 reasons to incorporate that point. First of all, difference in strength between genders, difference in physical strength between genders. Now, going down to that point, the average man is usually stronger physically than the average woman. So, due to this fact, it tends to that fact tends to reflect into the work life. Let's say something like one who needs to, a work that requires much of lifting and all that, physical exertion of strength. Men will be considered more for that job than women. Actually, in that type of job space, you see 99% of men, and in a way, there is a kind of discrimination or like segregation of women from doing that particular job, even though they might be physically able or they are physically able to carry particular manual labor jobs. But due to that average understanding that men are more of the time averagely stronger than women, most employers do not take them in for all these high, hard labor jobs. Secondly, emotional variation. Emotional variation. Now, when I say emotional variation, it comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to the environment one grew up in. It comes down to the type of friends one keeps to determine emotional variation. But most studies have shown that there is a certain level of exuberance showed by women in certain emotions. Now, what do I mean by that? Women tend to show more sympathy than men in certain situations, and men tend to show more aggressive behavior or emotions in certain situations. So that is what we call emotional variation. So this also tends to, segregate certain genders from certain job opportunities. Let's say something like a babysitter. Most parents will want to take a female as a babysitter because they believe that these females now have more sympathy and they will take care of that child better. But they would look at a male as someone who is probably on, how do I even put it now? Someone who is not really sympathetic or empathetic. So they tend to segregate males from this type of jobs, not all the time but most of the time. So that is one of the reasons why people feel that there will always be gender discrimination, which means there will not be gender equality. Now, the third reason I want to give is that a lot of people, mostly men, or obviously it's only men, suffer from deepened masculine norms. When I mean norms, I mean NORMS, norms, that is behaviors, and fear of being shunned. Now, explaining that fact real quick, or explaining that point real quick, what I mean there is that men usually have certain behaviors, behaving in a certain masculine way. Something like, for example, a very, very plain example: men love to watch football, men love to go out drinking. Not that females do not do this, but when you mention these things, the gender that pops into your head usually is the male gender, and companies advertise their products towards this particular gender, the male gender. So now, due to that fact, due to these norms that we have imbibed in ourselves, due to these social constructs, most people believe that there are certain things that are to be done by males and there are certain things that are to be done by females. Let's bring it down to the household. For example, if you talk about changing the oil in a car, most people say that that's a chore for the boys. If you talk about making meals, most people say that that's a chore for the females. But now, the truth of the matter is that both of these things, changing oil in the car and cooking, are things that everyone should know, because of the fact that these things will help each and every one of us in the course of our lives. It's as simple as that. A male will own a car, a female will own a car, so you should both know how to change the oil in your car. Everybody eats food, so you should probably know how to cook food and not be dependent on someone else to cook all your food. So that's what it is. These are just the few points that people have brought up to say that gender inequality is here to stay, which is a very wrong perception. Or in the other words, they're saying gender equality cannot stand. Now, on the flip side, there are reasons that people have given why feminism and gender equality is here to stay, and why it can thrive, and why and how it is already thriving. Now, the first thing is that a lot of governments are starting to endorse and recognize feminism. You know, the act of making things level for all genders. A lot of governments are starting to imbibe it. You know, a lot of countries are starting to be open to it. Example, like just in Saudi Arabia, that gave the ability to women to drive and own driver's license. So more countries are opening up, although almost all the countries in the world have opened up to this already, giving equality to both genders. Now, another example I want to talk about is more world leaders are becoming feminists, or more feminists are becoming world leaders. What I mean is that a lot of people who are coming into power in a lot of countries in the world have expressed openly that they are all for feminism and they are all for gender equality. Gender equality. So, a popular example is Barack Obama. He has said it a lot of times, especially during one of the awards, that was one of the shows rather, that was kind of promoting gender equality. His wife was supposed to give a speech, but his wife wasn't there, or she was coming late. I think it was a program thing that he was supposed to come out and talk. But he said, and he made it very clear, that he is a feminist. And that is one of the reasons why feminism / gender equality is here to stay. A lot of things, the world is changing, a lot of things are coming into play, and I feel it is my job to help in the little way I can to bring certain things into perspective. I do not know it all, but when I feel I know about a certain concept to an extent, I feel I should share it. So now I want to know, what do you think about this? What do you think about this topic? Would you say that you are a feminist? Would you say that gender equality is here to stay? Would you say that feminism can never stand? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know anything you think I've missed in this video. I try my best to do a certain level of research to put into these videos, so I do not give false or negative information. All I want to do is help you understand what you do not understand. I'm not saying that I know it all, but if I have information, I feel I'm obligated to share. I'm doing a service to humanity. So please, that's the end of the video. Subscribe, so you'll be the first to get notified when I post a new video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. I hope above all it has changed the way you think. It's been good. It's been nice being with you guys. I'm Mr. Ethan. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.